Now, part two of today's podcast about why it's difficult to have a sober living house have female participants. The claim of sexual violation is so easy because of biases towards the woman. If the man, the facilitator is male, I'm having discussion with someone right now about this. That's why it's coming up and making this like it's obvious. It's obvious. Look, everything is up. Once you understand what it is, and you see it clearly. You've been through it so many times. It's so clear. If a woman comes in, there's a number of criteria, and I'm going to spell it out clearly and honestly. Number one is the term insular, which is used, I learned, used in history. So I was told like gypsies were insular, which means they wanted to do trade, they would do business with people, but they wouldn't want to collaborate with them or have partnerships with them or have relationships with them. The term insular, not on an individual basis. There's people you meet who will want to do work for you in exchange for money, but refuse to partner with you to do work together. You cannot have a relationship with someone who's like that. That's very, very, I don't want people in my life that are like that, because that's indication of abuse that happens. I mean, you have to have transactions with people, externally that to have that. You're not going to collaborate with everybody. But if someone's coming to your house and you bring something more personal, but they don't want to work together to make money, they just want money, and they're insistent on that point, that's indication of it's either going to be abuse, it's going to be unfair, it's going to be like sugar baby, some kind of arrangement. There's nothing there but sorrow. So I know, because I've had that way, when they insisted to be that way. And I know, at the very least, one thing I know, to not bring people like that in. Now this next thing is touchy. It's about affection and intimacy. And so if they convey that either because of religious conviction, because Jesus says you can't have sex with a woman unless you're married to them. If they're strict about that, insistent about that, or if they say they've been traumatized because of former abuse, they don't want to be touched, that spells trouble. Because when they say that, then that's grounds for saying, well, I said no, and you did. Now they can claim there was sexual violation, which that girl was doing, when there was none. And you can ask everybody here and check all the records. And I was in that Tarzana treatment center, and they spelled it out for me. That guy was saying, in a male and female dispute in a house, even if the tendency from the stereotype is to believe the woman and not the man, no matter what it is. The guy that said he was told he was beaten by a girl, and the cops laughed at him and said, even if the girl beats you up, even if she chips a nail in a finger, run, don't come to the police, because the police will arrest you. No matter what happened, they will believe the girl over you. And that is the tendency. That is what happened. They were hearing her reports of abuse that I didn't get to hear, and they say because of Section 832. So they were acting judge, jury, and prosecutor, lying and supporting her every way, scolding, supporting the scam. So that's why that scam is so easy. If you're a white girl, and the facilitator is male, it's so easy. You don't want to give up drugs or give up bad behavior. You just want to keep on doing that. It's easier for you to scam than to turn your life around to something good. She was saying herself. In a session with therapists, it's hard to give up behaviors we've had. It is hard to give up behaviors. It's even harder when the cops, the law enforcement, the laws, the courts, everything supports scams rather than recovery. Cops, laws enable scamming. That's why there's so many scams, because the cops are trained to support scams and the people who perpetrate them because it's profitable for the lawyers and the criminals. That's a fact. The reason so many people are suffering, they don't trust nobody, they don't help nobody. We're going to take doctor every time sees somebody has to record on a tape recorder everything that happened to protect themselves against lawsuits. Because there's so many people going out there doing procedure intentionally to claim medical abuse because it's so easy to make money that way. The same with everything you do. The protections people have to take turns everyone into pencil pushers, not wanting to help at anything. Because if they do help at anything, the tendency is to say, you got it wrong, you have to pay damages soon. Because that benefits lawyers who make it that way, train the police and the policies, everything, to facilitate scams, which makes them rich, and they're the ones who make the laws. So if anyone, any of those things, doesn't want to participate, partner, doesn't want to, says those things, doesn't want to be tied, doesn't want to, has strict religious, they're claiming their prerogative to make that claim. I said no, and he did. Even though there's nothing like that going on. There is a lot of tendency out there for men to say, I'm providing this room for you, no sex or no rumor. I know that happens. That's why those laws are in there to protect against that. But then the people who are not doing that are accused of that so easily. Nobody can get anything done because what the stereotype is, the brain functions. The moment they hear it, that's what it is. They made up their mind and they refuse to communicate. They refuse to look at anything. They made up their mind. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.